last year. So
well, you just cursed it, so.
You were correct. I am. Well, congratulations, Hipka,
Congrats,
for winning the
Hipka. We
set.
can go to the next one.
We can just move on to the next one. I'm actually, I forgot. Legally, I'm not allowed to talk about
We're on a
these.
time crunch, actually. If you don't mind, just like, just report the characters you got right now.
You got, yeah. For Sparky, remember, do not forget to report. But right now, we're seeing Hipka, of course, come in. Hipka getting sent down here. I believe it was by Asmodee in the winner's side of bracket. That was a 3-0. Asmodee's just been looking that good. But don't let that 3-0 fool you. Hipka is a massive threat. PR number 5 for good reason. And definitely still getting hit. Still, bro, he believes in it so heavy. You know what? I respect it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep it up.
It's definitely not hitting as much. You're seeing Hipka sit a little bit lower on those walls in position, trying to change up how he decides to punish it. You're seeing these dares attempted, but there again is that down sig, and Hipka was looking for the punishes. You're seeing Hipka kind of just say, hey, you want to play your game? I'm just going to try to find the answer to it.
Yeah, very solid defense from both of them, too, on the side as well. Oh, that was beautifully covered. One thing Beware of Cheer does have in their pocket right now, Duke, is the fact that they are going back-to-back off of playing incredibly well in that last match, and they're running hot right into the next set.
Staying warm, keeping those fingers active, gets that dare on the gravity cancel downlight from Hipka, so Beware of Chair getting that damage, and again, throwing out those down sigs, and the way that Beware of Chair is starting to mix it up, he's going onto the stage instead of off the stage. It's forcing out these options because Hipka's trying to get that gravity cancel to punish it.
Hipka just looking for the nice solid stare that should take it out at this point. A D-Light stare off to the side, but Beware of Cheer, now that the blast is out, that's going to at least find you those straight pokes, but Hipka seeing right through them, doesn't find the recovery. Hipka finally finds that Seer. It won't be enough just yet. Do we find the closeout? Yeah, it's just dropping right off and go get the Seer to finish that stock.
And Hipka's got his choice of weapons, going to be the Spear, as Beware of Chair will likely be stuck on the guitars when that weapon spawns, but Beware of Chair still hits the boot as Hipka kind of drifted into that one.
Actually kind of feels like we're watching musical chairs in a way. They are never, like, they're constantly dancing around each other the whole time. He really sticks to, like, the brand of his name. But it's been so, the evasiveness has been so good that it's actually been kind of stumping the approach of even Hipka here. Last time Hipka decided to dodge in place and got caught for it, decided to jump up, Beware of Chair waiting, but doesn't get anything out of it.
The pogos. You're starting to see, oh, nice downlight into the side air. Just throws out the side air. Doesn't go for the double downlight because Beware of Chair had the dodge. Punishes the whiff down sig. Hipka starting to find that positioning, utilizing that high movement speed of Hattori.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You can see, like, Hipka might get punished. Yeah, Hipka's going to get punished heavy for that. Dodged in the last one, but didn't dodge the one before, so now you're in that guessing game. Are you going to guess it correctly? You did, and that's a huge punish for Beware of Chair. But I still agree with you, though, that Hipka is looking a lot better in terms of approaching.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see game 2 if Hipka loses this one, just sticking with that Hattori, because definitely seeing some good options here from Hipka, seeing the reasoning behind this pick, but needs to see that stock taken off of Beware of Chair as he again gets the ending on that spot dodge from Hipka.
Beware of Chair's reads have been on point and kind of showing what that, that 3-1 set that they fought before was no fluke. He has a very good understanding of where Hipka's defensive habits are.
Still touches.
What are we going to do about the ledge? I don't even know why I second guessed it. So, you know he's going to do at the ledge. Nair won't be enough just yet. Does he find the closeout? Got a little bit too far over. Tried to get a Sair follow-up afterwards, but the damage is just continuing to pile on, and it won't be enough yet, Duke, but we're kind of looking at what is essentially curtains here for this first game.
Yeah, I like this idea coming out from Beware of Chair, right? Hipka knows that Beware of Chair likes to utilize that down sig, so you're seeing Hipka try to go higher, seeing those exhausted recoveries, just trying to be above Beware of Chair, and Beware of Chair is like, all right, I'll throw out end sigs, or just hit you with the top side of the down sig, and Beware of Chair takes another one.
I did like what Hipka tried to do at the end there, too, where Hipka was all of a sudden not even just recovering higher, but trying really hard to chase higher. To, all right, look, I'm going to show you I'm not scared of you. It didn't work, but I like it because that shows that you are not falling back. That being said, how many of those hit? Let's pull up the live stats. That one was only, oh, excuse me, wrong side. Oh my God, 17 got thrown out. But it was still, it was 47%. So I'm just going to round that up to 50. Out of 17 attempts, we'll say 16, you got 8 of them. And that is against a very, very good defensive player in Hipka. For one, Miami Dome is just, it belongs to Beware of Chair. That's essentially what we have learned. So we are not going to go back. But two, they need to solve these D6s and fast.
Yeah, this Qatar signature kit from Beware of Chair, just on point. You're seeing Hipka stick with the spear game, still having high movement speed, but wants an axe, maybe a little bit of a stronger response to those Qatars, being able to put out those kind of big hitboxes. But right now, Beware of Chair has those blasters, avoids the N-Sig. Not that time.
Looking good right now, too. I actually kind of like the swap, too, because the sword was looking good in small moments, but not enough to really warrant the rest. So getting those stray hits and making them matter now, just the singular hits, because Beware of Chair's evasiveness has just been so good.
You can see that like spacing game that's coming out, right? Like Beware of Chair was trying to go for these like fadeaway nairs off of dash jumps, and Hipka was sitting just outside of it, staying low, but Beware of Chair gets in, gets the dodge as well, but doesn't hit the side air. Hipka has the stage control, but backs away, just wanted the spear.
It's the most frightening part about fighting Beware of Chair. When he hits you once, he gets all of it. He just does not let you go. Everyone else is getting 1, 2, maybe 3 pieces tops, but when Beware of Chair gets a hold of you, he's getting reads, and he's getting so much damage out of it. Nobody's been able to contest it so far.
And he's utilizing more of that Lucian Qatar signature kit. He's got the N6, he's got the down 6. Haven't seen too much of the side SIGs, but it doesn't matter, as the SIGs overall have just been hitting. Hipka in position, doesn't hit the hit to get the KO.
You're looking for a recovery. Yeah, there it is. I was gonna say, looking for a recovery pretty soon. Looking for a couple of raw recoveries. Just trying to get Beware of Chair jumping over. As at this point, it's just kind of like a check game. Like, let me get you to try and play grounded. Maybe I could get something out of this, but it's just been Beware of Chair is outspacing. That there won't be enough. Tries to look for the pogo, doesn't find it. That recovery will finally get the job done. I still feel like, I know we keep coming back to this, I feel like Hipka's defense and looking good. The results so far have not been looking that way, and I'm sure chat is probably disagreeing heavy. But if you pay attention to the way that Hipka's defense has been, the patience, you can see that he's starting to get some downloads. I am just thoroughly impressed by how well Beware of Chair is basically just seen it and doesn't care.
Yeah, I think that Hipka's defense, when Hipka's got some health to play with, is way better than Hipka when he's in a stressful situation.
Yep.
Deep red, Hipka's been spot dodging, and Beware of Chair is just punishing him for it. But this one is looking relatively even.
I think you're actually right on the money with that, too. I didn't even think about that. Disadvantage while in the red has been very panicky. Disadvantage while it's been at the start has been just stoic, grounded, not going crazy. But now here we go again. Here comes Beware of Chair. Just once you're anywhere near that, it is a runaway game. It is a jump scare fest of trying to avoid Beware of Chair.
Oh my goodness. Beware of Chair, he sees you get like into the red or off stage, and he's like, have you seen the Lucian Qatar signature kit? Check these out.
So
nice positioning. We'll get the KO there.
Yeah, gets the KO. Really just a constant statement of, I don't think you're aware of my game. And it has been working. Straight up decked in the face, though. That does give him stage position. He gets access to the Qatars. This is feeling like what is a borrowed time stock, so Hipka needs to get any stray hits, as it does go away right there. At least got one neutral light. But yeah, that one was going away pretty soon.
Yeah, Hipka was definitely looking for some extra credit there. Only got the neutral light, just a tap of damage, but man, Hipka looking very scared here. Intimidated by Beware of Chair, but a nice pogo kind of shoves him away. But again, Hipka just trying to run away from Beware of Chair.
There's nowhere to run. He saw the walk away, said, that's cute. I'm still going after it, though. And here we go again.
Dodge. Okay, the wake-ups, the down sig, and Beware of Chair closes out another one. I think that's like 4 or 5 of the last 5 games have ended with a Qatar down sig.
Let's see. So in the, actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think there was maybe one game where it wasn't a D-Sig. Maybe we're reaching at this point for that. But he reaches and he teaches. That constantly hits and it gets the job done. And there's zero reason to stop. There is zero reason to stop. It is sealing the W's. It is getting you what you need to get done. And also, this could be Beware of Chair in top 4.
It's very nearly going to happen, as Hipka is on final options here. Going to go over to the Stefan Afro Orion pick and hoping that the spear works. I see Hipka trying to do these things with the spear. I saw the Nair game attempted, saw those pogos attempted, but it's just not enough to the momentum that Beware of Chair has with these Qatars.
I guess the only way to like stop a freight train is to run right head on with another freight train with the lance. Like it's like, all right, we're playing a game of chicken, but the problem is Beware of Chair doesn't know what the breaks are, so it just keeps going in, and I don't disagree with it. But I do agree that the spear was definitely looking better compared to the axe in that last game, so I like the idea of making sure you stick to a spear legend with that switch.
Oh, and you're seeing Hipka trying to go for those pogos, but this is Beware of Chair with blasters in hand. He positions a little bit differently, going for more jump down airs against Hipka.
And Beware Chair, I mean, we mentioned it before, real estate this is Beware Chair's home. Miami Dome has been nothing but successful so far, but this is a significantly closer start compared to almost every other game we've seen outside of like game 2 with that Enchantress swap. D-Sig will give him stage position. Pogo finds a mark. Can you finish it? Actually, just gonna get it done outright.
Yeah, I mean, even though Beware of Chair is playing in the Australian Winter Championship, you got to believe he's got a condo out in Miami because he's been doing so well on the Miami Dome. Still opportunity here to get the KO. Needs to just get that downlight for the recovery.
Hipka just trying to do it. Yeah, there you go. There's the nairs. Just trying to just box away. Anything to get it disengaged. That is a lot of nairs in a row, actually. And I think you might have been on the money with that. But recovery just catches the jump. Barely any damage taken here in the second stock.
But still, the fact that Hipka got that first stock, the fact that he's got that tiniest bit of momentum, does bode promisingly. NSIG thrown out. That's a punish. Okay.
Yeah, you need to
touches.
Yeah, do not let that NSIG be your demise right now. You got to go ahead and get back on, nice and smooth. Gets around the ledge too. Very uncommon feat for a lot of people against Beware Chair so far. Beware Chair looking for some preemptive jump reads and not finding them. So majority of the time, Beware Chair was right on the money with those. So that bodes well for Hipka. If you want to see him get back in, that is a great snatch. That is going to lead to a Sair. Might be able to get the job done here. Oh no, the reverse gets back on. That was the best play you could have asked for if you were looking for Beware Chair to get back.
He's like, have you seen this?
Yo, bro.
Did you know?
Yo, have you seen this though? Like, yo, look. All right. Have you seen it though? Recovery-wise, attacking-wise, stock takeout-wise, getting back on stage, it doesn't matter. It's the best insurance policy you could have ever asked for. It gets everything that you want, and that is not going to be enough. The reversal Sair actually might just get the job done here. Maybe ground pound.
Not enough. High movement speed, high defense on Lucian, and he gets back. Pogo, Hipka able to keep this slight stock lead, but he needs more extra credit than he has been getting when he gets these stock leads.
I'm going to stay attached to the spear. So far, it's been working very well. There's no reason to really break away from it. Beware of Chair, only rare occasion where I only see 2 interactions in a row where he wins.
No.
Oh, what a great read. Getting a 3-piece out of that. I feel like Hipka is starting to wake up a ton.
That was a great call out. With the way Beware of Chair has been utilizing those down 6, Hipka needs to find more ways of shutting it down, making sure Beware of Chair has to find different options. And there's the side sig thrown out. Doesn't get the punish on the dodge, but still Hipka getting more extra credit. Down sig, just a dare.
Yeah, good dodge over the top of it. Not going to get its mark, but Hipka looking for another ground pound. That's going to give Beware of Chair an opportunity to get back on stage. Beware Chair not going to commit to anything, not trying to go crazy. You are behind at this point, so it's not as easy to just go straight for any of these D-Sigs, but Hipka's getting super aggressive with these recoveries. Does get knocked out himself by one, but has a very comfortable, or a comfortable enough lead, we'll say, at this moment.
Yeah, really good play from Beware of Chair there, kind of recognizing Hipka threw away the spear and had to go for the weapon and was like, all right, I'm just going to cover it. Gravity Cancel Neutral Light covers most of the options in this spot, but Hipka covers the movement with the recovery, and Hipka is going to put himself on the board.
I had to take a look at this point because it seemed like Hipka was finally going to get one, and I needed to know how long it's been. It was 8 games in a row that Beware of Chair had won. Did not drop any in the losers top 8 qualifier. Did not drop any in the elimination top 8 match, and then up to this point, finally drops one to Hipka, and Hipka's spear looked phenomenal. And also, not just that, the defense looked a lot better. I did not see nearly as many panicky get-off-ledge moments because most people have been getting eaten alive the moment they try to get off ledge.
I think that's one thing that this Orion brings to Hipka is that confidence that, like, hey, if you mess up and come down here with that Qatar down signature, punish with a gravity cancel NSIG, and suddenly you're the one in that dangerous position.
Right now, I see it switch over to Apocalypse as well. Oh, yep, free punish right there.
Oh,
wow. Hipka, all right, Hipka is Hipka is done. Hipka is done with the foolishness right now. He has absolutely picked it up. That was a very dominant first knock, not to mention with the trade-offs as well. So Beware of Chair actually for a rare occasion do cast the work from a pretty decent deficit.
You know, I mean, like, Hipka's got that alarm on like a 2-second snooze with the way that he kept waking up on Beware of Chair. Every single time I was like, oh, that's a good option. That weapon toss up to kind of halt the movement of Hipka. And Hipka's like, nope, jump Pogo, get that stock down light side air. Hipka, complete control here.
Hipka is doing what a lot of people weren't able to do as well, get more than one hit out of almost every interaction so far, where Beware Chairs have dropped a ton, going to avoid the D-Sig, jumping right over, and another attempt on it, but I feel like Beware Chair is kind of second-guessing some of the approaches now because Hipka just keeps boxing them out.
Now it's Hipka's opportunity to kind of show off the signature kit. You're seeing a lot of SIGs thrown out from Hipka, and he kind of recognizes, you know what, Beware of Jared doesn't have the biggest punishes here. Again, I kind of talked about it in an earlier set, where it was just like, oh, you're going to do a Qatar down air? Okay, I'll take that if I get the opportunity to hit you with a big SIG.
Yeah, Hipka's got to hit that point of anything you could do, I could do better. Oh, looking for the ground pound, but gets the volley off the wall. Won't be enough yet. But looking for a panic off the weapon toss into the recovery. Nothing comes out of that, but that recovery will cover it. And currently, Hipka is up 2 stocks.
This is looking like a completely different Hipka. With the way that Beware of Chair had so much control in Game 1 and Game 2, the fact that Hipka potentially here could get a 3-stock is huge, but the side sig at least denies that 3-stock.
Yeah, leading up to that point, that was the Hipka that got to the winner's side of this winter championship. That was a Hipka awoken, and that is exactly what you needed up to this point. But I am still... Just from what we've seen so far, it's hard to count out Beware Chair at any point. I feel like this game definitely looking heavily in the favor of Hipka, but going into game number 5, if that is the way this continues, you still need to continue to play exactly the way you are as Hipka, because so far the defense has been great, and you somehow stymied this offense from Beware Chair.
Stymied's a big word. I'm going to need a dictionary for that one.
I didn't want to just say stop. I said stop a bunch of times. Okay. I gotta sound smarter than Sparky. Leave me alone. But
I'm in my head. I'm like, yo, stim packs. You play some Marines right now. Speed recovery.
I mean, I got the laptop over in the corner. These things won't do it just yet. Looking for another one right there, but does not catch him. At this point, I feel like Hipka really has gotten into that mode of, look, you were doing a bunch of these things before. I'm just going to do them back, and you have had absolutely no answer to it. You pointed it out, and you were right. The signature kit has been completely explored so far.
Yeah, I mean, Beware of Chair is still trying to keep to that signature game, but I think when we look at the stats between this one and the last couple, the accuracy from Beware of Chair has probably dropped dramatically.
Yeah, it actually has. It went from a 12 count, actually before, what was it? It was 17 at essentially 50%.
Yeah,
that
roughly
was
50% on
yeah, that was 12 at 17%. So you're only hitting maybe 2 to 3 of those tops throughout the entirety of that. Not to mention the difference of damage as well. That previous game, there was only a separation of about 150, give or take, even though it was kind of slower, and the way that it was going, it was just Hipka was just controlling the pace without having to do too much. This time it was separation of 200 plus. So Hipka just continues to move forward with the lead. Maybe the gas is finally starting to come, starting to lose that fuel for Beware of Chair. The phenomenal name is Beware of Chair, currently looking at what could be a reverse 3-0. And actually taking a second to think about the legend pick as well.
Yeah, this is a very different spot than Beware of Chair has been earlier on. We saw Beware of Chair kind of just in that driver's seat for the most part, and now we're seeing a complete swap. The slight crossover with the fact that it's got the blasters, but it's going to be the Luke for game number 5, hoping that the gauntlets are going to be the thing to work out well for him. He'll have some big SIGs. Those SIGs have taken a little bit of a hit, but they'll hit incredibly hard if he can connect with them.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what the heavy lean in is on this. The blasters were still looking good. The Qatars were getting shut down. He was not finding the reads. He was not getting anything off of Endlight anymore. That was enormous because everybody else was getting destroyed after Endlight. But now here with the gauntlets, you have at least more consistency when you're up close, and you have more scary reads that might work out. But I think the biggest thing that you alluded to was the range on the SIGs compared to the close nature. Now he gets the box further away from Hipka here in game number 5.
Well, we'll see if he can box against Hipka, because right now Hipka, with complete control, has that center stage, has the weapons. And this is going to be our first time onto Enigma, this tri-platform map. Definitely something that Beware of Chair was looking for. Generally, you want a flat map if you're going to be that Lance player, but Beware of Chair going to try to utilize these platforms, maybe go for a downlight recovery off the top one and be close to that top KO box.
Yeah, nice change up at the end here too. I mean, Miami Dome was working very well beforehand too. It just ended up working out in favor of Hipka afterwards. But you can see he's kind of platform camping a little bit, just trying to get away from any low starters. No side lights are going to be happening here. You pretty much have to commit to just a nair, and that's it. Unless you get on the platform and catch him slipping first. And look at that. He's always making sure he's just far enough out of range. Even though Hipka has the damage lead, it's mostly been off his stray hits so far.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that is going to be a bit dangerous for Beware of Chair is if he decides to sit on those platforms a little too much, Hipka can pick him off with those spear down lights. Those for the down sig. A little bit of a safer option there to cover corners compared to that Qatar down sig that he was using so much earlier.
Yeah, and also he was constantly giving up stage position for it, whereas before it wasn't an issue at all.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, once Hipka started dominating that side of the stage that much better, it was not worth it anymore. And it's actually a really close first stock here, so you can see Beware Chair at least has woken up a bit from those two pretty solid last games. As he catches them slipping, there's that range you mentioned before, and it already came into play.
Yeah, caught the feet of Hipka. Not sure if Hipka just didn't recognize the movement or maybe thought he could drift past it, but either way, Beware of Chair with that stock advantage. And you're starting to see those blasters look a little bit better too. That chase, pivot, nair off that GC from Beware of Chair.
Yeah, and Hipka's just looking for that one mistake. There you go. That was, I like the attempt. Still covered at the bottom, though. That was a great pickup. Looked for the dodge originally up on the top platform, didn't get it, but knew that you were going to immediately fade back down and covered him as soon as he got to the ground.
Yeah, really good job from Hipka, kind of just following the movement of Beware of Chair. But this one is looking very even here for game number 5. Beware of Chair needs to keep this momentum going. He has the tiny bit here.
Even though we can't see them right now, all I'm seeing from the real thought out movements before they go in is extremely sweaty palms. They are both, you could see.
I did not hear the word sweaty.
Yeah, moist. Shout out to Charlie. But you could see like the stress behind any decision they do moving forward right now. But that is a huge play. Do you get the other one? No. Just missing the second recovery. Beware of Chair able to get away from that. That would have been enormous for Hipka.
And able to outrun that down signature. All right. Weapon toss not going to connect. Ensig will hit. Second one from Hipka. Trying to keep Beware of Chair high in the sky. No weapons for Beware of Chair, but there's the weapon spawn recovery to punish the pickup. Another one. He's waiting.
That was so good, too. Just jumping right up to try and get him and then going for the recovery just to get out of range away from Hipka. But Hipka's presence is just so fearful right now. Finally gets it back off stage. What do? Do we go off? Yes, we do. Look for the pogo. Doesn't find it. Recovery still not enough yet, Duke.
Beware of Chair just trying to find a landing, but there's so many helicopters. Hipka with the spear and Sigs is going to put Beware of Chair on tournament stock here in game number 5.
I think at this point we're kind of seeing the win con for Hipka is the spear. It's pretty much what's making Beware of Chair get scared. Throw it right in his eyes too while he's trying to get out anything started. But you also have to be very careful of recoveries coming in from these gauntlets. If you're Hipka as well, you're not that safe at the moment.
Using those down sigs, Hipka moves past it. That's one thing that is a bit bad about it. Okay, Hipka, he's like, all right, full confidence here. Okay,
all right,
let's hit the ground pound.
After all the attempts, getting away from the D-Sig finally, looking for the ground pound.
Same input, just not on the
stage. Just not off stage or canceled. Maybe that was still intended for one more.
Honestly, might have been.
It might have been. It just worked out. It's like the game took over. Weapon toss away though, not feeling the blasters at the moment. Does get forced into a situation of having to hunt, but can he find it? I mean, at this point, Hipka does not want to get off the spear either. So, yeah, I think this is the final weapon choice we're going to be seeing for the remainder of the match.
Yeah, it definitely looks like this is what they wanted. Hipka on the spear, Beware of Chair on the gauntlets, but Beware of Chair is unarmed now, still struggling, and this is where Hipka took full advantage earlier, making sure Beware of Chair cannot get low enough against Hipka. And another one.
Waiting it out, trying to stall as long as possible. Hipka looking for the early panic, never got it, but you're right. Those moments right there, exactly what Hipka was able to do to get the lead earlier.
Again, going for the recoveries, knows that Beware of Chair does not have that many options to challenge below. Side air, running out of movement here.
Not too many guesses you can take it. There it is. Good patience once again. I think patience is the key to the success of that W for Hipka, because everything about those first couple games was entirely Beware of Chair's favor because he just overwhelmed them. The moment we started noticing, though, even in the losses, Hipka was slowing it down a ton. And then it finally got the job done with 1 3-stock along the way, as well as another dominant game along the way. And then even with that close one at the end, the patience on those platforms, particularly with that spear, made Beware of Chair freak out, which most people would. It's not easy to get around that, and that already was a mental W because you know he's scared, and that means you're going to cover him much easier on the bottom. That was phenomenal.